Let's talk about masculine and feminine polarity work. Let's get it.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today we're talking about masculine and feminine polarity work, okay? You'll notice the symbol of yin and yang, okay? Basically what that is it's a symbol that's integrated, right? You have the masculine and feminine energy, a little bit of feminine in the masculine, a little bit of masculine in the feminine, right? As you can see right here. Now, the thing about this is not about gender, okay? It's about masculine and feminine energy. Let's first distinguish those two. I just got off of a coaching call this morning with one of my very good friends, Jackson. He's also my guide. And together we just finished our program, which we created in a sense called the Alpha Buddha program, where, he took me through this process where, we were working on my expression, my throat chakra, my ability to merge both of my hemispheres, and also, both of these different polarities. So today's session was all about masculine and feminine integration. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys today about, and what I reached as a sort of consensus and an epiphany of this kind of work. Every man and woman, whether you're in a testosterone-fueled body or estrogen-fueled body mainly, we have the opposing pole, or the opposing principle of, if you're a man, you have both masculine and feminine energy. As a woman, you have both masculine and feminine energy, right? It's important to understand that when people refer to the term toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, they're actually talking about the immature masculine or the immature feminine. It hasn't matured into its evolved, flowing, healthy state. There is a sense of lack. There is a sense of being cut off from truth, from wisdom, from source energy, right? And so it's important to understand that an immature masculine man is all about the controlling nature, basically letting their pride get the best of them, very, just dominating for the sake of it, not really for any purpose. In a sense, it's very wounded, right? In a sense, it's very wounded. And the wounded feminine is very manipulative, very people-pleasing, lacks boundaries, right? And all these other things as well. So it's important to understand that, both of these frameworks, both of these polarities have wounded sides to them. And we need to heal those immature sides in order for us to evolve it, or almost, adapt and evolve it into its highermost paradigm, highest most form. It was interesting to look at energy in general, because a lot of the times we're leaking our energy. And Mantak Chia has this example, I got this from Jackson. Mantak Chia has this example of actually closing down the sexual energy at the end of the night, meaning you squeeze the PC muscles of the perineum, and you almost squeeze the shaft and the balls, and you just basically visualize closing down the different chakras and different areas of the body, almost like charging down a phone, right? And we don't do that. We don't want our energy to leak into the subconscious mind, where it starts to cause all these different problems and things like this, right? So I really like that concept of charging down, really needing to rest. Feminine energy is also a replenishing energy in its most divine form. So really start to understand that we need both, right? Because each is a soil from which both can grow. So if you want to be more masculine as a man, you have to work on your feminine as well in order for you to do that. If you want to be more feminine as a woman, you have to work on your feminine, but not only your feminine, also your masculine, right? I created two archetypes, or two characters. So I labeled my masculine and feminine side of me. So my inner man or my inner woman, right? So the way that I imagine it is both have these mature and immature aspects of them. I called my feminine side para, and my masculine side dox. So like paradox, right? Both of them together being paradox. This life is a paradox. If you guys haven't checked out, I have a song called Paradox as well. But I really like those different images. I imagine my inner feminine, at its most mature form, being almost like a goddess energy, like Harmonia, if you're looking at ancient Greek, or Aphrodite, or Cleopatra. It's kind of goddess type of energy, right, in its full form. The masculine is almost like a Julius Caesar, an emperor kind of, or the Eros, or the Apollo energy almost, right? Starts to create more stability in this concept. So it's like a goddess energy with a god energy together, right? So Para and Dox, I tapped into both of them and I saw the immature sides that came out and the mature sides that came out. Hey, there's work to do, and there's work that has been done that has been fully evolving me. So it's important to notice both, right? These are your teachers. These are your deepest, most teachers in every area of life. I'm surprised that they don't teach us this stuff in school, man. You know what I mean? It's very strange. Like, this work of polarity and duality, this is what the whole entire world is all about. You even have different cultures, saying that the table is masculine conjugation and this is a different conjugation, right? There's different cultures already recognizing it in their language. So we've got to really notice that it is this real thing, right? One is more directive, one is more reflective, one is more active, one is more reactive. I think that a mature feminine woman is very good at receiving, and a mature masculine man is very good at giving. And we can think about it in regards to relationships and sex as well, right? One is the giver, one is the receiver. Also understanding that it's important to let the feminine witness us, not just us witness the feminine, because it's cool to do men's work and things like this with a bunch of guys, a brotherhood, but it's a whole different thing for us doing men's work and then having women watch us as we're doing men's work. That's a whole different experience by itself, right? And there's not a lot of brotherhoods and men's circles doing that kind of work where there's a feminine witness to being vulnerable, to opening up, to going through the layers of resistance or trauma or whatever, right? So I think it's really important that there is an integration with man and woman, and there is this sacred and cosmic dance that happens between them, because otherwise we're just going to leak energy and not be able to sustain our energy throughout the days. That energy of just being able to hold space within your body as a man, think about a rock climber, right? They have to have a very specific energy to hold on to the rock. But if they exert too much energy, too much force, they're going to end up sore. They're going to end up falling off of the rock and all of these different things. So it's really important for us to understand how this is really incorporating into our daily lives. And when we can create this flow state or this fluidity between both of them and really tap into each inner man and inner woman and have that conversation with each one, that is when we can heal it, right? There's root clears that you can actually do, emotional root clears that you can actually do. And I did the root clears today for my inner masculine and my inner feminine. And both of these memories were around college time, which is very interesting. It showed up both kind of related to that same area of time when I just first got into college and I started to explore, my relationships, my sexuality, my mission on this planet, my creativity. All of that was being explored, and all of that is masculine and feminine work. To be an attractive man, you have to have an attractive masculine polarity. And to be a feminine woman, attractive feminine woman, you need to have a feminine polarity. So this is like a magnet when it works, right? It just pulls in the opposing principle into your life. So if you're learning how to be in your divine masculine, you're going to bring in the divine feminine. If you're being in the divine feminine, you're going to bring in the divine masculine around your beingness. And if you have a wounded masculine or feminine, you're going to bring in wounded people into your life. So it works like a magnet. We've got to understand that it works like a magnet. And if we don't heal these things, we're going to start having same partners. And you'll be like, all your life, you'll be like, why am I attracting all these crappy relationships with these shitty men? You'll be like, or as a man, you'll be like, why am I attracting all these relationship with these, really catty, like really nagging women, right? And it has everything to do with your masculine and feminine energy. This is the work that I help people with, but also the fact is that you can actually explore doing this work yourself. Different archetypes definitely help. So for when I said, oh, it's like Cleopatra and Julius Caesar, there's an internal Cleopatra for you, internal Julius Caesar for you that you can explore. Now it's important to bring them together in harmony, because together they can rule an empire. Apart from each other, there's chaos. So in this book actually, there's a map here, which is very helpful. Right here, okay? See this map? Okay, that. So there's the mature feminine, mature masculine, and immature feminine, and mature masculine, right? Like, let me read some of these out, right? The mature feminine is self-assured, diversity, empathy, devoted to the masculine, feels a joy for another's joy, intuitive, accepting, creativity, freedom and trust, healing and love. The immature feminine and shadow is attention-seeking, which is self-harming, attachment or addiction, blaming, lying, and framing others, manipulating, seducing, and controlling the masculine, emasculates and feminizes the masculine, right? Jealous and resentful, vengeful, overly emotional and cathartic, hysterical, passive-aggressive and jealous, hatred and spite, victim, craves abuse from others, anxious, paranoid, unconscious, harmful sex. Well, unconscious, harmful sex and fear isn't both, so let's not mention those. Mature masculine, humble, interdependence, honoring, worships the feminine, magnanimous and generous, emotional and mental balance, selflessness, wisdom and discernment, responsibility, holding space and boundaries, mindfulness and love. The immature masculine and shadow is arrogant, megalomaniac, right? Megalomania, ownership, slave master, shaming, bullying, hates, dominates, and suppresses the feminine, violence, imprisons others, prejudice, racism, selfishness and greed, egocentric, disconnects through intellect, cold-hearted, competitive, warmongering, judgmental, dictating, avoidant, emotional, isolation, and self-reliance, unconscious, harmful sex and fear, of course. So now knowing this, right, it gives you a map. It gives you a map in being like, okay, hey, maybe I'm just kind of bullying this person. I'm in my immature masculine in that state. Because why does a bully even need to bully? Because they feel so much hurt on the inside, and they need to feel like they belong and play this role in order to have power over someone else, because they feel powerless. Once we know these things, we start to evolve our characters and actually heal these wounded aspects of ourselves. So let's start to really understand that these are energies that we're working with, and heal them and pull through the most divine aspects of ourselves. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it today. Boom.